In this session, we will discuss how mutual exclusion is achieved in distributed system using the token ring algorithm. Now here, you can see that we have a bus network, assuming it is an Ethernet. Now there is no proper ordering of the processes. You can see here, they are not ordered in a sequence. Now in a token ring algorithm, a logical ring is constructed in which each process is assigned a position in the ring. Now this ring position may be allocated in numerical order of the network address of each process, or maybe by some other means. Each process in this logical ring knows which is the next process after itself and which is the process before itself. Now when the ring is initialized, the first process is given the token. So we assume this red dot as a token over here. Now this token keeps on circulating around the ring. It is passed from process K to K plus 1 in point-to-point message format. When a process acquires the token from its neighbor, it checks to see if it is attempting to enter the critical region. If so, the process will enter the critical region, it will do its work and then leave the region. For example, when this token is passed from process 3 to 4, process 4 will check whether it wants to enter the critical region or not. If yes, by using the token it will enter the critical section, do its work and then leave the critical section. After this it will pass the token to the next process. So the token keeps on moving along the ring after it has exited that particular process. The process, for example over here, process number 4 is not permitted to enter the second critical region using the same token. When no process wants to enter the critical region, the token just circulates at a high speed around the ring. So we have seen that only one process has the token at any instant. So only one process can be in the critical region. We have also seen that the token circulates among the processes in a well-defined order. So there is no question of starvation. Now what are the problems with token ring algorithm? If the token is ever lost, it must be regenerated. It is very difficult to detect that a token is lost, since the amount of time between successive appearance of the token on the network is unbounded. The fact that the token has not been spotted for an hour, it doesn't mean that it has been lost. There might be a process which is still using that particular token. A dead process will be detected when its neighbor tries to give its token and fails. So since the token is not passed from first process to the second process, it means there's some problem with the second process. At that point, this dead process can be removed from the group and the token holder can throw the token over the head of the dead process to the next member down the line. A brief comparison of the three mutual exclusion algorithms. Here the key properties are listed. That is, the number of messages required for a process to enter and exit a critical section, the delay before entry can occur, that is, assuming messages are passed sequentially over a LAN, and some problems associated with which algorithm. So we'll discuss about the centralized, the distributed, and the token ring algorithm. Now the centralized algorithm is simplest and also most efficient. It requires only 3 messages to enter and leave a critical region: a request and a grant to enter, and a release to exit. The distributed algorithm requires n-1 request messages, 1 to each of the other processes, and an additional n-1 grant messages, so a total of 2 n-1 messages. Whereas with the token ring algorithm, the number is variable. If every process constantly wants to enter a critical region, then each token pass will result in one entry and exit, for an average of 1 message per critical region entered. At the other extreme, the token may sometimes circulate for hours without anyone being interested in it. In this case, the number of messages per entry into the critical region is unbounded. Finally, we look at the problems. All these 3 algorithms suffer badly in the event of crashes. Special measures and additional complexity must be introduced to avoid having a crash bring down the entire system. The distributed algorithms are even more sensitive to crashes than the centralized ones. In a fault-tolerant system, none of this would be suitable. But if crashes are very infrequent, then they all are acceptable.